Hi guys, it's Natasha, and today's video is a little different because I'm combining self-love and fashion because I'm taking you guys on my style journey and how my confidence and self-love affected the way I dressed. Where do I begin? Well, let's cut out like my childhood because let's be real, if it wasn't for my mom dressing me super cute and fashionable, I would be wearing literally the same clothes every single day. So I really started becoming more interested in fashion and also more self-aware and self-conscious about my body once I was a teenager. You know, puberty, that fun stuff happened, and I started to become a lot more conscious of my body, of boys, of what other people thought of me. It was also in high school when I started to become a lot more self-conscious and insecure, and like I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, it was during high school when I started feeling depressed. And the first instance that it's so crazy, like how you can remember those times where somebody really like made you feel bad about yourself, like how those remain just fresh in your memory. And I remember exactly what I was wearing. I was wearing this cute like little matching set that I think I had gotten from Aeropostale, and it was these blue joggers and a matching top with like white and orange stripes, I think. And the top was cropped, so you could see like a little bit of my stomach. And I think I was like freshman year of high school. And I wore that outfit. I wore it to the movies with two of my best friends at the time. And one of the first things they said once they saw me was like, oh my God, like, look at you. Like, why are you wearing that?
Why are you showing so much skin?
Are you trying to get attention? And I started feeling really uncomfortable. Should I not be wearing this? Like, does it look like I'm trying to get attention? And it could be that they were joking. But in the end, like the fact that they both joined in on it really made me feel uncomfortable and made me feel like maybe I shouldn't be wearing this. Maybe I shouldn't be showing my stomach. After that day, I didn't feel comfortable wearing that outfit anymore because I just remembered like my two friends making fun of me for wearing it. And even when I would wear it again, I always it hurts me to admit it, but I would always layer the crop top on top of a tank top. And that was the very first instance that I can recall where I really felt like maybe I can't wear these things I like and I need to be careful of what I wear because people may make fun of me. And so I pretty much wore the preppy style when I was in high school, and I would wear shorts and skirts for a while, and like little pleated skirts or mini skirts, but especially during my like junior and senior year, which was when I really started to become insecure in my body and feeling depressed. I started to wear less shorts, less mini skirts. I think I owned like maybe one or two pairs of shorts, and I rarely ever wore them. And I lived in Florida. Um, and I was just very self-conscious of the clothes that I would wear. And I was so scared of showing off my body because I didn't want to call attention to myself, because I didn't like how my body looked. And it also didn't help that what was popular and trendy at the time were the low-rise jeans, which were
the bane of my existence.
because, hi, I have a long torso, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a different body type and body shape. Some people have shorter torsos. Some people have longer torsos. I am one of those people. And low-rise jeans just made my long torso look even longer. So whenever I would look in the mirror or get dressed, sometimes it's just like something doesn't look right. And I always used to say that like my body's unbalanced. You know, I don't like the way my body looks, but I was also dressing in a way that wasn't flattering for my body, which down the line, as I started getting more into fashion, I started playing around with silhouettes, and I found things that worked with me, and low-rise jeans ain't one of them. But I was always so self-conscious, and that was really, there weren't like really any high-rise styles, and low-rise was what was cool back then and trendy, so I wore it even though like it was not flattering on me. And it got to the point where even when I would go to parties, especially like pool parties, and there would be boys there, I would be so uncomfortable to wear a bikini that I would wear shorts and a tank top because I didn't want to call attention to my body, because I thought my body was ugly and I didn't want other people to see it and judge me for it. It's interesting because I did have a penchant for color. And even though I would cover myself up most of the time, I wasn't showing a lot of skin, I really liked bright colors and like hot pink, like turquoise, red. And I would like wear, so like looking at some of my old pictures from high school, I'm like,
Oh girl, what were you thinking?
but that's what was in back then. And it was only when I was about to start college that I told myself, like, I need to get out of my own head. Like, I'm tired of being my own worst enemy. I'm tired of, you know, crying all the time, of being disappointed in myself, of hating my body. And that's when I started to kind of push myself to make a change, you know, to change the way that I saw myself. And I think I've mentioned this in one of my other videos, but I forced myself to buy some cute shorts that I liked, and I forced myself to wear them to the mall. Like, I used to go to the mall a lot with my mom. Like, I loved going out to the mall with her. And I remember feeling so nervous because I was in my own head as usual. And I'm like, oh my God, what if people like stare at my legs and they think they're ugly? Or what if somebody says something? And no one said anything, because guess what? No one cares. And just that one experience kind of lit something inside of me, because I realized, oh, that wasn't so bad. Like, no one said anything, like no one bothered me. And that gave me just a tiny bit more confidence, just a little bit, to keep pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. But even then in college, I still dressed to fit in. And it always depends on what trends are around, of course, during the time. But when I was in college, you know, we would party, we would go out to the clubs a lot, and what was in at the time was like super tight, like mini dresses, like the bandage dresses that were in at the time that like you could barely even breathe in. Super short, super high platform heels. And I would wear it because I mean, like, we're going clubbing, right? This is what my friends wear, so I should wear it too, even though, like, it was always so uncomfortable. I don't know how I made it through all of those nights. I don't know how my feet made it through all of those clubbing nights and those awful heels. And I was finally starting to get a little bit more comfortable in my body. So I was wearing more shorts, I was wearing crop tops, but I was still dressing in a way that I felt was expected of me. Like, I have to dress like this. I need to show my body, to be appealing to boys because that they'll think it's sexy, and honestly, all of my friends and I dressed exactly the same. We would always wear like fitted tops. Like, my mom used to make fun of me because she's like, why do all of your shirts have to be so tight? I didn't like own one loose tee or one loose blouse. Like, everything was super fitted because that's how I thought I needed to dress to fit in. And then after, when I graduated college and the new nuances of trying to find your way as an adult in your career or at a job, there was like this new insecurity because I didn't know how to dress in a corporate setting. And then those insecurities of standing out too much, of always wanting to fit into my environment, popped up again. And I would just wear like the most uninspired, like ill-fitting trousers. Like, I'm not even kidding. They didn't even fit me right. Button-up shirts, which I absolutely hated, like those fitted button-up shirts that are stretchy. I'm not a fan, and I never found them comfortable. And I was always so self-conscious of calling too much attention to myself because I didn't want any negative attention. I didn't want people thinking that I was trying to get attention by the way that I dressed. And I was also not confident in my skills as a marketer because I really, like, imposter syndrome was really real. And I'm sure you guys have felt that way before, where you're like,
I don't know what I'm doing and I shouldn't even be here.
So I didn't want to call attention to myself. And that's not only with the way I dressed, but even the way that I operated. I never really spoke up in meetings. I was so scared to like voice my opinion or thoughts because I felt like people would judge me and people would tell me I didn't know what I was saying or what I was doing. So that was also reflected in the way that I dressed. And it was only as I started to become more confident, continuously working on self-love and loving myself, that I started becoming more comfortable and stepping out of that box and thinking, just because everybody else dresses this way doesn't mean that I need to dress this way too. I don't need to continue hiding myself. So I started wearing more things that I thought was trendy. I definitely veered more into a minimalist type vibe for a while, with every once in a while wearing like pops of color, but I still kind of stayed away from bold patterns, bold colors, and sticked mainly towards neutrals because I told myself at the time that was just the aesthetic that I liked. I like neutral palettes. And I have this picture, and I posted it on my Instagram before, where I was contemplating getting this outfit for work. But I remember taking this picture and being so hesitant because I loved it. And I thought it was so unique and cool, and it made me feel like a badass. But that voice popped in, and I'm like, is this too much? Like, is this too much for the office? And I remember even showing it to my mom. Of course, I was shopping with my mom, and she's like, no, like, this is work appropriate. What's wrong with it? And I ended up buying it. And I wore it to work, and I was like, oh, I hope nobody's like, what the hell are you wearing? But I got so many compliments and people asking me where I got it because it was so different.
It was from H&M, by the way.
And it was one of the first times that I was like, oh, I wore something that's more aligned with how I want to dress and that I like, which is a little bit more bold. And I still wore it to work and nothing bad happened. And it's like those little wins like that, those little moments that helped me step into my style even more. And I would say over the last year or so maybe starting in like 2019, 2020, I started to really tap in to who is Natasha and becoming my most authentic self, because I've been working at it for over a decade, and it took some time, but I feel like I finally got into, and here I am getting emotional again, I swear, guys, like I cry in all of my videos. But it's like I finally got to me. Like the me that I put out there in the world is the me who I am inside. There's no facade. Like what you see is what you get. And I finally feel comfortable enough in my own skin to like let the real me be out there, regardless if it's at work or with friends or with family or with people who I don't even know. And it's so crazy how I had thought that I found my style. I'm all about neutral colors and I don't like bold patterns, I don't like bold colors. And here I am wearing green, like lime green, which has always been my favorite color. But I always told myself, well, it's my favorite color, but I would never wear it. Why? Because it called too much attention to me. Because I didn't feel confident wearing it. And I only really started realizing that over the past year or two that I love colors. Like, I love lime green. I love dusty pinks. I love lavender. I love turquoise blue. And wearing those colors bring me joy. It's just that I never had the courage to wear them because I was still hesitant to call attention to myself. So it's almost like I had to tone myself down using my clothing. Don't stand out too much. This may be too bold. Like, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want to get too much attention because internally, as someone who was insecure for a long time and who has been through depression, I was so used to hiding myself for so long and being uncomfortable having attention like placed on me and standing out because I was so scared of being judged that I didn't even realize that even now as I started to become more confident, that part of me was still there. And it's only in the last 2 years where I've been like, screw it. I like colors. I like lime green. And you know what? I'm gonna wear it if I want to. And all of these things that I had convinced myself were not for me or that were too much were internally things that I actually really liked, but was just not confident enough to wear. I was robbing myself of that for so long and hiding myself because I still wasn't comfortable being myself. That doesn't mean I've thrown out all of my neutral colored clothing because I still do really love black and I love an all black outfit as well. But sometimes I want a bold pop of color, and now I can get out there in the world and wear that without feeling self-conscious and without feeling like I owe somebody an explanation. So I wanted to share that with you guys. because I really do think the way we dress is reflective of how we feel. And the way that we dress can also affect the way we feel about ourselves. So it's so crazy looking back how much my style has changed over the years as I've become more confident and stepped into me. The most authentic version of myself. It's like, it's so rewarding and it's so uplifting, and that's why I care so much about not just sharing my self-love journey and helping others love themselves, but sharing like how to be confident and comfortable in your own skin and wearing what you really love, because I've really seen how self-love affected my sense of fashion and style. Just like how I used to ask my mom or my friends, like, is this too much? What we're really saying is, I'm not confident enough to wear this, even though I love it so much. So is this too much for me? And essentially that's what I was asking all along, is this calling too much attention to me? Which is something that I wanted to avoid, that I had always wanted to avoid for most of my 20s. And here I am crying again. So think about that the next time you try something on and you're hesitant about it. Is it really because you just don't like it and it's not your style? Which it could be. It could be that it's like, I just really hate the color yellow. I don't like the color yellow. It's not for me. I don't enjoy wearing it. Or maybe it's the style that you don't like. Like, for example, boho. I love seeing other people wearing like the boho aesthetic when they can carry it off and look confident. And I'm like, yes, she looks amazing. But I'm like, but that's not my style. I feel like I was wearing a costume because it's just not me. So it could be that you just don't like it and it's not your style. But you should also ask yourself, is it just not my style? Or am I telling myself that it's not for me because I don't feel confident to wear it, even though on the inside I really do like it? Whether it's wearing a crop top when you've internally convinced yourself that you can't wear crop tops because you're not a size 2 or a size 4, or whether it's questioning yourself whether you want to rock your band tees and your Doc Martens because maybe this isn't appropriate anymore at my age, even though that's what you truly feel comfortable and confident in. Or maybe, like me, you spent most of your life trying to hide yourself and not call attention to yourself, and you've just tried so hard to either blend in or just fit in with everybody else that you're so scared of standing out. And if that's the case, let this be a reminder to you that you should do it anyways, that you should push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because as long as it's something that you love, that's all that matters. So thank you guys for watching. I feel like this was a long journey that we went on, but I hope this can inspire you to reflect on your journey and how the way that you have felt about yourself, or the way that you currently feel about yourself, affects the way that you dress. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, if you've noticed anything in your journey as well. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you can't tell by this video, I post videos about self-love and fashion. So I have several of those types of videos on my channel as well that you can go check out. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Love you.